Okay, in this session we'll go with FTP, file transfer protocol server. First of all, what is an FTP means? It is a protocol. It is a standard network protocol used for transferring the files from one node to another node, which are on a TCP based network like internet. Okay, so it is a protocol. FTP means it is a protocol. So the purpose of FTP is to transfer the files from one server to another server, one host to another host, which is a TCP based network like internet. Okay, so it is a simple thing. It is one of the oldest protocol we use, but it is one simple. We can easily configure an FTP server. This FTP is based on the client server architecture, and for this FTP we're having two different connections. One is for control connections, another one is for data connections between the client and the server. So what is this client server architecture means? It is very simple thing. If you are having two nodes on your network, if one system is having some data on it, if another system requests the data from the other system, then the first one which is giving data is we'll consider that as a server. The second one which is asking for data is a client. In simple terms, I'm not going to any definition like that. Okay, so this FTP is based on client server architecture. So the uh, different thing in FTP is it uses separate control and data connection. So for commanding, for sending commanding, we have one port, and for sending data we are having a different port. So that is a specialty in FTP. Okay, so here FTP users may authenticate themselves using a clear text in protocol, but can connect anonymously if the server is configured to allow it. Okay, so here we can do the FTP in two ways. One way is we can do with our username and password. Another way is we can anonymously we can log into that FTP using FTP protocol. Log into the server using FTP protocol if it was configured anonymously, configured for anonymous user. Okay, so I will show you what was that. Okay, so in Red Hat Linux, FTP can be the FTP access can be given from command line interface as well as GUI mode. Okay, so now I will show how to do that using command line interface. If you want to do that with the GUI interface, that will be done using Vsftp, Bugzilla like softwares, third-party softwares are there. So we can do that. This protocol is for Windows also. Okay, so if you want to transfer files from Windows to Linux, okay, then we'll use that WinSCP and Bugzilla. Okay, that is a GUI mode. That is very simple compared to this thing. But Linux environment, Linux server to Linux client, how to do FTP, I will show you now. Okay, so already I told you that FTP server which stores the files to be transferred, that can be done using two ports. One port for commands, another port for data. So the command port, if the client requests the server, then then the commands are received at the port 21 of the server, which is called command port. Okay, and if the authentication, if the server finds the authentication is right from the client, then it will send the data. So the data will be transferred through port 20 of the server, that is called data port. Okay, in I will tell you that in clear in the next slide. Okay, so what are the types of FTPs? There are two types of FTP based on the network perspective of view, networking point of view. There are two types of FTP. One is active FTP, second one is passive FTP. So what will be done in active FTP means, here the server FTP server initiates the data transfer connection to the client through data port 20. Whereas in passive FTP, the initiated by connection is initiated from the client. Okay, so I will tell you in clear. Okay, next, in user management point of view, FTP again two types. One is regular FTP, second one is anonymous FTP. So regular FTP means the files are transferred through the username and password of a regular user, okay, from the FTP server. That means if you want to transfer the files, if you want to get the data using FTP from the FTP server, you must give the username and password of that user, okay. Second way is in general you can access by anonymously, okay. So there you don't need any login. That means it is a universal login, okay, where you the username is FTP or anonymous and no need to give any password. So this is the way of uh, downloading the files from the website. Already you will download MP3 songs, or you will download some PDFs from the websites using this FTP, okay, FTP protocols, okay. That is a universal way. So simply it doesn't ask any password, and okay, any username and password. So coming to active FTP, here look here, this is a client, this is a server, suppose. So if the client FTP control connection to port 21 from higher port, that means from higher port of client, the client request the data from the server, suppose, let us consider. So client requests it from higher port, more than 1024 port number, more than 1024 it requests. That means it sends some command. Suppose if it want to see the list of files, suppose if it sends ls command through this high port of client. There that command was received of the server at port 21 of the server, okay. So that means the commands are received at the server at port 21 in FTP, okay. After that the server will check the authentication of that client. That means if it is a regular FTP, it will check the username and password of that server and gives, if authentication is okay, then what it will do is through port 20 of the server it will send the data. So that data was received at the high port of the client. So here the server is actively initiate the data connection. That's why it is called active FTP, okay. So this is called active FTP, but in real time the active FTP was sometimes fails because the firewall, so the firewall may don't know how many servers of FTPs are behind them. There may be security issue, so it doesn't allow, the firewall doesn't allow this active FTP sometimes, not all the times, okay. It is not real time, it is always not recommendable. Second way of doing this is normal, we'll do the FTP in this mode only, passive FTP. Here what will do is, what will happen is, again the client computer request sends the commands from high port. Again the command received at the 2421 of the server, okay. If the authentication is if the authentication is clear, again the client, here the client initiates the data transfer connection to the server from high port, again high port to the high port of the server, clear. So here no need of that 20 port of that server. Here the client initiates the data connection, okay, through the high port of the server, okay. So the source port of the data transfer connection is always a high port on the client with a destination port of a high port on the server. So passive FTP should be viewed as the server never making an active attempt to connect to the client. That means server here, client is connecting to the server, not server trying to connect to the client. Okay, so because the client is always making the required connection, this is known as a passive FTP. That means server is not active here, actively taking the data initiation. Okay, so passive FTP works better for clients protected by a firewall, okay. Here client here firewall allows because a client is initiating the connection, okay. So no need to worry that, okay. So in Windows also we will configure FTP server, okay. So in Windows that connection was default active, whereas in Linux it is passive, okay. So but almost in all Linux server we will go with the passive FTP. Okay, Windows it is active FTP. Okay, so what is the profile of this FTP server? What are the packages? What are the okay? So the main use of FTP is for uploading and downloading the files. Okay, so why this FTP protocol is used? Why this? Why we need to configure this FTP server and client is to upload and download the files from server to client. Okay, upload we can download as well as upload that files. So what is the disadvantage with this FTP is here we cannot download or upload directory, only files can be uploaded and downloaded using FTP. Okay, so if you want to download and upload file directories, then we need to go with NFS. Okay, that we'll see in later. So the package, what is the package we need to install to configure FTP is Vsftpd. Okay, and also daemon also Vsftp, very secure FTP daemon. Okay, so you know daemon, what is daemon is if this service Vsftpd runs in the background, then only FTP will work. Okay, so we need to keep this Vsftpd running in the background daemon. Okay, next where do you get this script it is in /etc Vsftpd. Okay, so port numbers for FTP is 21 and 20. So 20 is for data, 21 is for command. Okay, there are 4 configuration files are there for FTP. So those are /etc. First one is /etc Vsftpd /vsftpd.conf. Second one is /etc again Vsftpd directory, it is user underscore list. And third one is /etc Vsftpd ftp user. Third one is fourth one is /etc pam dot d /vsftpd. These are the 4 configuration files. If you want to change any configurations for FTP, you must aware of these 4 files. Okay, next where you get this document of this FTP, that means where you access this var /var ftp. Okay, the directory for that one is /var ftp. Okay, so this ftp only created when this package is installed, then only this ftp directory in /var will be created. Otherwise there will be no ftp folder or directory will be in /var. Okay, next, so how to configure a FTP server for downloading a file. So first what you need to do is here you must have two nodes that are connected in network. So one is one should act as a server, another one will act as a client. So first what you need to do is on the server you need to install the package, which package it is Vsftpd. On the client you need to install FTP package. Okay, so on the server side create some files in var ftp some pub directory. This is the default directory for FTP. Var ftp pub directory is the default directory for FTP server. You can access the files from this directory only. Okay, and you configure FTP server, you can download the files from this folder var ftp pub. Okay, so after that restart the service by using service command. That means service that daemon Vsftpd restart command. After that make the service enable after reboot. That means by using check config command you can restart it. Okay, even after reboot of the service. Okay, you can enable it. Next, connect from client by using ftp command. We can connect to the client and access the files to download it. So what are the steps are those? I will show you. So first we'll go to the server which you want to consider as a server, where they check whether that package was installed or not. If it is not installed, install it by using yum command or rpm command. Okay, then go and create some files in var ftp pub and restart that service by using service vsftpd restart command. If it is in rhl7 you need to use systemctl command. Okay, it is in rhl6 now, so I am using service command. After that make the service enable even after the reboot by using check config vsftpd on command. After that go to the client, which system you want to act as a client, and access the files and download it. Okay, so how to do that one is To access that FTP server, use the command FTP, then that server IP name, then it will ask for username. There you will give that FTP. Okay, just give it is username as FTP and no need to enter the password. Okay, before doing that, we'll check whether the package FTP was installed or not. So by using rpm-q FTP command, you will check it. If it is installed, no need to no worry. If it is not installed, install it. Okay, using m or rpm. If it is a repository was configured, use m command. If repository was not configured, then go with rpm. Okay, that you know already. This was in last previous sessions we have done that, how to install a software. Okay, next FTP is that server IP, and there it asks for username. You will give FTP or anonymous, which one. So here what we are configuring this, it is anonymous way of. Okay, if it is a regular way of FTP, then what you need to do is you need to give the username and password of the FTP user. Okay, so there it will, if it is anonymous way, then it will ask password, then give the just press enter key, no need to give any password. So anonymous means anonymous or FTP, you will go with anonymous means it is universal way of login. Okay, then go to that cd pub. There you are having your created files are there. So download that files by using get command, get that file name, then you will download that file from the server to your client. So if you use mget command, you can download multiple number of files. Now I will show you everything. Okay, so after that quit, just simply quit by using by command or quit command. Okay, now I will show how to do that. To do this, you must have two servers. So I'm having two servers here. Okay, so this is my first one. I'm considering this as a server, FTP server. So here my server IP is 192.168.61.130. Here it is I'm having second.
Sir, server place we cannot see.
స్క్రీన్ కనిపించట్లేదా? Okay, so this is my second server. If config second system, I'm taking this as client. Okay, so this 192.168.61.129, I'm considering it as a client. Okay, now I want to configure this server client FTP. Okay, so this I'm considering as a server. So which package I need to install is, I need to install Vsftp package. For that, check whether that package was installed or not. Okay, so Vsftpd. Okay, rpm-q. So already it was installed. If it was not installed, then what you need to do is m install. Already it was installed, so no need to worry. Just I'm giving how to do if it was not installed. -y. So if you do this, okay, it will execute. So already it was installed, so it is not nothing to do with this. Okay, so if it was not installed, do that with m. If repository was configured, if repository was not configured, you must do that using rpm-ivh. Okay, now so it vsftpd package was installed. So obviously there is a file was created in var sorry, directory, that was var ftp, and ls, there is a pub directory. Okay, in the go to that pub directory, create some files there. I'm creating some multiple number of files. Sorry, I'm creating some 10 files at a time using touch command. You can create some empty files using touch commands. Okay, here I have created some files. Okay, now okay, this was previously we have configured while configuring m we have kept this RHL6. Okay, don't need to worry, keep it. Okay, now it was over, but what you need to do on the server side is you must restart this vsftpd daemon in order to make the configurations modification of configurations actually. Okay, so for that you need to restart. Okay, so next you want to make it permanent after reboot. You want to enable it, so you need to do that by using check config vsftpd on command. Even after reboot that daemon will okay will work. Okay, that's over on the server side. Next go to client side, check here whether that ftp package was installed. Here the package was ftpd, where server side it is vsftpd. So here the package is ftp only. Check. Okay, it here also it was installed. So if it was not installed, suppose let us consider you can do that using either rpm or m command. Okay, sorry. Okay, now what you need to do is just log in to the server. Which server I'm considering it as ftp. So how to log into the server through ftp is through command line is ftp that server ip 192.168.61. My server ip is 130. Already I've shown it. So if you do that, it will look here connected to that server ip 220. There is a code of some ftp. So name, it is asking the name. Okay, so name is here anonymous or ftp. Just give it is ftp. It will ask for password. Just press enter. Okay, no need to. It is universal way of logging into the ftp. Okay, it is not a regular ftp. Okay, so here look here, there is a prompt will appear ftp and some arrow mark will be like that. That means now we are in that server. We have connected to the server 192.168.61.130 through ftp. Okay, now if you want to check pwd, so we are in the server. So now move to where this will access ftp that was in where ftp. Okay, so go to that and use command ls. Okay, here we are having a directory pub. Look here. Okay, look here in where ftp pub. So this pub directory only we can share the files from this directory only through ftp. Okay, so here we have created some files now. I can go to that pub directory. So here we're having some files. That means we are in this server is 130. Okay, this server ip is ending with 130. Okay, here we have created some files in where ftp pub directory. Some 10 files are there in this. Okay, in this okay, here we're having 10 files are there, around 9 files are there. Okay, now I want to download the files in this server to this client through ftp. That's why I have configured ftp. I have entered to the server using ftp protocol. Now I have moved to that folder. Which folder it is? Where ftp pub. Okay, now it is in pub. We are in pub. Now I want to download that file from that server to this client. So for that the command is, if you want to download a single file, so simply use the get command, get file1. So look here, so that's over. Okay, so file 1 was transfer was completed. Okay, next if you want to transfer multiple files, then you need to use mget command. Mget file 2 file 3. I want to download 2 files at a time. Then you will okay, you will do this. So every time it will ask whether you want to get that file or not, so you need to enter. So just I have I want to get 2 files here, so 2 times I need to enter. So every time if you want to download some 10 around some tens of files or hundreds of files, then every time and giving entering pressing enter it is some okay, it takes some time now. It is, and also it will be irritating. So for that, what you need to do is just uh, disable that prompt. So how to do that one is just type prompt. So what it will do is interactive mode will be up. Interactive mode means if it will ask whether we want to download it, yes or not, yes or not. Okay, now check if you want to download multiple files using mget, better you will off that prompt. Okay, interactive mode will be off. So by using the prompt command you can do that. So now I want to download more files. File 5, sorry, file 4 and file 5. Okay, file 6, enter. No, it doesn't ask for any okay approval. It doesn't ask for any approval. Okay, so the transfer was completed. Like that you can download the files from a FTP server to a client using FTP. Okay, so after doing that, simply exit. Okay, now look here, the files were downloaded here. I'm in this location. When I go to that FTP server slash location, the files are downloaded here, file 1, file 2, file 3, like that. Okay, here, look here, all these files are located into this position. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you is look here, again I'm connecting to the server using FTP. So give the username as FTP, no password needed, enter. Okay, so if I use ls command, so it will give the present pub directory. Okay, that means it is in 130, 192, 168, 61, 130, that pub directory, that location of so if you want to know the present working directory, it is in slash. Okay, and it is that means where FTP it is considering. So in that where FTP it is only giving pub. Okay, so now I want to move to pub. Now it is pwd, it is where pub. Okay, before logging into it through FTP, I'm in slash. My present client is in slash. So if I want to know on which location on the client, so use the bank symbol and ls. Sorry, use the bank symbol and pwd. Look here, I'm in. So if you use bank symbol or exclamatory mark, and along with that if you use that command, it will give the client it will uh, client will it will give the client profile. Okay, that means pwd, it is client present working directory. If you give that exclamatory mark. Okay, if I don't give exclamatory mark, that is server, FTP server. Okay, so I'm in FTP pub directory. I'm in that server 130 server. I'm in 130 server. I'm in slash where FTP pub directory. I'm in present client. My client is in slash. That means if you use bank symbol, that will give the client profile. If I don't use any symbol with the command, that will FTP server. I think you understood it. So one second, one more example is ls. In present my pub directory, I'm having all these files. What are those files? File 1, file 10, file 2, 3, 6, 10, all these files. It is in 130 server. Look here. And look here, it is in passive mode. Observe this thing also. Okay. Now, in the same way, if I use bang ls, so look here. So these are in, it is in slash bin dev file 1, file 2. This is the client's directory. In that it will list all the files. So this is how you want to execute commands when you use FTP. So if you want to access the commands on this FTP server, simply do it plain, that is ft pwd ls, like that you can execute the commands like that. If you want to execute the commands on the client, then use bang symbol, okay, in front of the command, then it will give, okay, it will return the values of that client. Okay, I think this is how we can download the files from the FTP tower. In the same way, how to upload the files, sorry, how to upload the files from client to the server. Okay, so first how to do that one is create an upload directory in the document root of the FTP server. That means whatever you want to upload the files from the client, all those will be going to this upload directory. So after that you need to change the group of that upload directory as FTP. So you know how to change the group of the directory by using ch group grp group, and group name will be FTP because it is a system user. FTP is a, so you must give this FTP only, and our directory name is upload. Okay, then that upload will be going to this FTP. So who are the FTP? All users will access this upload directory. Next, you must change the upload directory permission to write permission by using chmod g plus w. So for that group you must give the write command. Why? Because you are uploading some files from client to this upload directory, so that means you must have the write permission. So the write permission must be given to the group of FTP. Okay, first you need to do all these three changes. Next you can do that by logging into the FTP. If it is not so, you need to implement all these. Okay, I will do that one by one. So now this is my server, this is client. So downloading everything is over, exit. Okay, this client, this is server. Now what I need to do is I want to upload some. Okay, now cd. So now I am in var ftp pub, sorry, var ftp. Here we are having only pub directory. So from pub you can download the files to that client. Okay, now I want to upload some files from client to this server. So for that what I am doing is I am creating a directory with the name upload. Of course you can give the name with whatever you want, just I'm giving it as upload to understand it, resemble that we are uploading the files to this directory. So for that, create a new directory, mkdir upload, check whether it was created or not. Okay, it was created. Now change its group name by using chgrp, and the group name must be FTP because all the FTP users you want to use it. So yes, FTP is a system user. Already at the time of logging in, I have given the username as FTP now. So here the FTP is a system user. Okay, that is anonymous way. So I need to give the group also FTP for this directory. Okay, so group name is also changed. If want to check it, do that by using ls-l command. Look here, for pub the owner is root and group is root. For upload the owner is root and the group is FTP. Okay, that's done. Next what you need to do is you must give the write permission for the group FTP. So for that I'm using chmod g plus write permission. The group I'm giving write permission to the group, which group it is, FTP, and for which folder you are giving, which directory, upload directory. Chmod g plus w, sorry, just chmod g plus w. I'm giving the already group is set here now, FTP. Okay, so for that FTP I'm giving the write permission on the directory upload. Okay, so I can check it. Previously there is no write permission here. Look here, there is no write permission for group. Now check it. Okay, now write permission was assigned to upload directory for the group FTP. Okay, now what you need to do is restart the vsftpd daemon. Okay, now it was over. Now go to on this side. Now try to access that server through FTP. Give the name as FTP and password is enter. Now what you need to do is you want to upload some files from this client to that upload directory. Okay, how to do that one is, look here. Okay, after doing that one, restarting that one, go to the client system again, try to again go to upload. Okay, and to upload a file, what you need to, which command you need to use. Previously it is get command. To download it, you have used it as a get command. Now to upload it is you need to use put command, put. Okay, so by using put command, do that, try to do that. If any problem is there, you can do. Okay, you can, I will tell you what to do. Okay, now it is in ls. Okay, so now we're having two directories here in the ftp server, pub and upload. You need to send the files to upload. Okay, upload of the directory. So presently at in our client, check on which and where we are we are in slash, so check the list of files ls. We're having file 1, file 2, file 5, like that. Okay, now I want to send some file from here. Okay, okay, already these files are there na, libs opt, these files already, these are downloaded from that na. Okay, just do one thing, I'll do one thing. Okay, I'm coming out of that ftp server. Now I am in uh, slash root. I want to create some files here. Touch some file x and file y and file z, just to distinguish the previous files. Okay, so I have created some files here, file x, file y, and okay, look here, these are the newly created files, file x, file y, okay, file y, file z. Now log into that ftp server. Okay, ftp and enter. Now cd, we are in where ftp. In that we are having two directories, pub and upload. Now what my intention is, I want to send the files in my client, file x, file y, and file z, to this upload directory. So for that, cd, go to that upload directory. Okay, so how to upload means, just put command, put file x. So what this put command will do is, this file x is in slash location, we are presently in the client that location. Now I was moved to the server through ftp. Now by using put command, I can send this file x to upload. Okay, just try that, but permission was denied. So there is some problem with this. Check where the problem is. Okay, there are probable chances are, first go to the server. There is a configuration file for this ftp is slash etc vsftpd and vsftpd connect. Go to that file. Okay, so go to this file slash etc vsftpd vsftpd and open that using va command. Okay, so here you're having a lot of options. In that, you need to change one setting here. So what that one is, here it is commented. So this, if you find this symbol in front of the uh, script in the file, that means it is commented. Commented means it doesn't execute that command, so uncomment it. So how to edit a va file, simply I press I, it will go to insert mode. So here, remove this anon, means anonymous upload. Okay, enable, yes, so it is enabled now. Okay, now save it, save the file. Okay, now restart the service, again check it. Of course, if again problem, you need to check again. It is permission delayed. That means there may be some more problems are there. Check it. So check the SC Linux this time. So here we have enabled this upload in the configuration file. The other problem may be SC Linux. SC Linux may be stop that FTP. So for that, what you need to do is you need to execute this command. I will tell you what is that command on the server only. So get SC bool. That means secure Linux boolean. Okay, what are those for grep FTP? So don't worry, it look like some large command like that, but simple thing. What it was doing is it is taking it is there are some boolean values of SC Linux. Okay, it is getting that boolean values. Boolean values means that is 0 or 1, on or off. Two values are there. For everything there will be option. So allow FTP unwrite, it is off. Allow FTP full access, it is off. So yeah, I am grepping, that means filtering only FTP. There are NFS, there are Samba, for all those boolean these SC Linux will have options. For that I am taking the FTP only. Okay, I'm grepping filtering FTP. In that I'm checking the boolean values of secure Linux, SC Linux. Okay, so here all these you are having different options are there. So if you check this, okay, it is off. It is off. So it is off. So look here, allow FTPD anonymous write. It is not allowing. So for that, what you need to do is you need to set that value. So for setting the boolean values of SC Linux, what you need to do is set bool, set SC bool hyphen p, and which parameter you want to set it, this one, copy that. Okay, sorry, shift insert, and here it is off. It was off now. What you need to do is you need to on. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay, next in the same way we'll check it. ls ldz, this is also a way of checking SE Linux parameters for that upload directory. So check that permissions. Okay, LSLD means LSLD means it will give the directory permissions, everything, full permission, full details about that directory. If you give LSLDZ means that that will give the details about secure Linux details. Okay, so for which one you want to check? Upload. I'm sorry, it is capital Z. LSLDZ upload. Okay, sorry, this file is in var ftp pub now. Var ftp. Okay, var ftp. So look here. Here these are the some of the contexts of SE Linux, unconfined object like